this is lesson number 5 or session number 5. So we're going to recap some of the things we've done the last time. So I set you an ear test exercise, and it was to identify the different chords that were being played. The chords we went over last time were E minor, D, A and G. One of those chords, E minor, is the minor chord, so it's a kind of sad sound. Okay, the other one's D, A and G are all major chords, so they're the happy sound. So the answers to the exercise are actually on the screen or in your PDF. You also have them. So the first chord was an A chord. Hopefully you heard that as the major chord. The second chord I made is a minor chord. Okay, so hopefully you can hear the different chord types. No matter how complicated chord work gets, if you're playing fancy jazz chords, then it always falls into either major or minor broadly. Okay, so here we have the A major chord, the first chord. So then we move on to the E minor chord, the second one. So that was the change in tonality from major to minor, A to E minor. Then we had back to A major again. This was chose deliberately to see if you could hear the going back to chord number 1. So you're basically going 1, 2, 1, if you could hear back. Then a swap to a second major chord, so still a major tonality, but it was a different major chord. Then we switch back to E minor, again being a familiar sound that you've heard before already. So it was A major, E minor, A major, G and E minor. Now, I wouldn't worry if you didn't recognise A or G, but hopefully you heard the major to minor changes there. If not, I would go back and maybe just play the chords again and just listen to them and bear that in mind, and hopefully it should stand out. Okay, so let's recap the actual chords. This is a very important thing. The guitar can be quite technical, and you need to practice your finger movements and spend a bit of time just working on those. So this will be the best way that I've found. So if you grab the E minor chord, so remember that, second finger on the A string at fret 2, third finger on the D string at fret 2. Again, try and land your fingertips. Go through the strings one at a time. Try and see if you've got any dead notes or anything that's not ringing. There's only 2 reasons something wouldn't be ringing. Either our fingers touching another string unintentionally, which is why we want to land on their fingertips, or you're not pushing down hard enough. If you get your fingers in the right spot behind the frets though, you shouldn't have to push down too hard though. Okay, so we've got E minor. Then if you play the D chord, which was the triangle, so we put our first finger on the G string at fret 2, our second finger on the E string right at the top, make sure they're both in the same fret, then our third finger in between in fret 3 on the B string. That's the D chord. Try and aim to strum the top 4 strings when you do that. Don't worry just now if you hit the other strings, just try and get clear notes. Then we have the A chord, so that was all 3 fingers in a row, on strings 4, 3, 2. Using fingers 1, 2, 3. Okay, and the last chord was the G chord that we done. Okay, so first finger, string 5, fret 2, second finger on the 6th string at fret 3, and your third finger on the high E string. You notice here these are mirrored. The 2 E strings, you're holding the same notes. Fret 3 and fret 3. Low G, high G. Low G, high G, sorry, it was a bit buzzy. Okay. Now, the best way to practice these, and how I got so fast at it, was practicing the actual change. A lot of people strum the chord, and when it comes to change, then they do the change, then they do the change. They're not actually practicing the difficult bit there. So I would spend some time, literally if you spend a minute or 2 minutes every day, time yourself doing it, you'll see yourself getting better and better and better and better by doing this. So you just strum chord once, then move to the next chord, next chord, move to the next chord, and just practice it like that. Now you won't be able to do that fast straight away. Everybody's different, so just do it as fast as you can where you feel in control. So it might be this fast, but you've always got to be pushing yourself, just to like always push yourself to be faster and faster, but still feeling as if you're in control, and most of the notes are ringing out the vast majority of the time. If you do that just over and over and get those changes, and you'll be able to change like that probably in a few weeks if you just keep doing that. Now if you can do that, when you come to play it in a song, when you add in maybe a strumming pattern, you'll start to feel as if you've got all the time in the world between the chord changes, especially if you've been sitting doing that. It's just finger memory. Your fingers just need to get used to going to the same thing, and with sheer repetition, then there's no kind of secret to it. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce another chord. So you need to memorise these chords for the going on through the lessons, because we're going to add a couple of chords each time. Sometimes one chord, sometimes a few chords, but we'll add chords on each time we go through the lesson. So it's kind of really important that you memorise these just now, and then we'll build upon that. If you need to go back and double check these, and you've got them in the PDFs. Okay. So the next chord we're going to do is the C chord. We're going to add this on. This is leading towards our first song that we're going to do, which is Love Me Do by the Beatles. It's a very simple song. It's 3 chords. It's made up of 2 sections, and yeah, it's a good song. So we'll go to the C chord, the next chord we're going to do. So put your first finger on the 2nd string and 1st fret. So use your 1st finger there. Okay. Again, be careful you're not touching the E string. It's very common to do that. If you've got trouble with that, sometimes just moving your thumb around the back of the neck. Again, everybody's different because your hand size is different and that. So move your thumb around, up or down. Generally, to start with, you probably want it in the centre of the neck and have a little bit of space there. Okay. Then, so you put your 1st finger on the 1st fret, 2nd string. Then take your 2nd finger and move it onto the 4th string. So you're jumping over that G string. And then put your 3rd finger on the A string, fret 3. I always remember this when I started as being quite a stretch, much like the G. I found that quite a big stretch. Okay, so again, move your thumb up and down. The further down you move your thumb, the more you'll bring your wrist out, and that will increase your stretch. If you watch, if I put my thumb over the top, then my hand, I can't move my hand any further than that. Whereas if I put my thumb down the neck, I can move my hand. Okay, so that's the difference. Okay, so that's a C chord. Good thing to do is take your fingers completely off and then just try and find the chord again. Now, an important thing when you're changing chords for the first time, when you're first learning a chord, you will start one finger, next finger, next finger, but you've got to try and eventually land your fingers down at the one time. So another good practice thing is maybe just taking your fingers on and off like that and try and land them down all at the one time. Okay. This will be something that will take some time to practice, but it's worth bearing in mind that eventually that's what you will have to do. Okay, so that's a C chord. Okay, we're not going to go through the song just now. What I would like you to do is to listen to the song. So like I said, it's Love Me Do by the Beatles. So you can go and maybe get a copy. You should be able to download it from Amazon. You'll find them on YouTube and stuff as well. So go and listen to the song and just make yourself get familiar with the song, and then we'll go through the music on the next lesson. Okay. You actually know all the chords already to play the song, so just spend the next week or so just practicing these chords and getting used to that C chord, and try and get the notes nice and clear. Just pick through them maybe one at a time. Make sure your chords are nice and clear. Don't worry if the odd note is not clear. That'll kind of correct itself the more you're playing. Okay, right, so that's chord work. So that's 5 chords for you to practice and make sure you memorise them. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is scales. So while chords are several notes played together. Scales are single notes. The reason we learn these is technical reasons, to just make sure our hands and our brains start talking to each other a little bit more and our fingers go where we want them to go. It's good for playing melodies as songs, it comes in helpful songwriting, and my favourite thing, improvising solos and improvising music. Scales are your framework of right and wrong notes. Okay, so I'm going to teach you one of the most kind of rudimentary scales that's based on that C chord that we've actually seen already. And it's the C major scale. You might think like the Do Re Mi thing here, kids singing in school and stuff. Another thing is it's all the white keys in the piano. Okay, so we're going to play position wise. Your first finger deals with any notes in the first fret, so only keep your first finger in the first fret. Second finger deals with all the notes in the second fret, and your third finger deals with all the notes in the third fret. Okay, common thing you see all the time, it's easier to think about one finger. Sometimes when you're practicing you'll use all different fingers. The problem with this is it's inconsistent, and if you're actually playing a song and your mind is elsewhere, maybe concentrating and playing along with the music, concentrating and playing with other musicians, then you'll start making mistakes. You want to build in a consistent system. Okay, so just start with that, like I said, first finger, first fret, second fret, third fret. Okay, so go to string 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the 4, and use our third finger on the third fret. That gives us a C note. Okay, then, so it's just one note in that string. We move up to the next string, and we're going to play the string open. That's a D string. Okay, then on that string, we're going to use our second finger, play the second fret. Okay, then we're going to use our third finger, same string, third fret. Okay, so if we go back, it's third fret on the fifth string, so that's the C note. The actual names of the notes are C. Then we move up to the next string, which is open D, second fret, and then third fret with your third finger. Just don't even try and play that in rhythm, just try and get the correct notes with the correct fingers. And if you know your alphabet, it's very easy to remember the note names: C, D, E, F. Okay, so one note in that string, 3 notes in the next string. Okay, move up to the next string and it goes open, then 2. Okay, so that's G, and then it goes back to A. Musical notes only go from A to G, so as soon as you hit G, it goes back to A again. Okay, it's kind of like a short alphabet. C, D, E, F, G, and then second finger is an A. Okay, then we move on to the second string. This is our last 2 notes, and that's an open B string, gives you the B note, and then we have our first finger, which is the C note. Okay, so that's C to C. So go through that really slowly. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's the easy part. The hard part in scales is always coming back down the way. You always practice scales up and practice them down. Okay, so play up, and we'll try it backwards. So it's 1, open, then we move down to the next string, second finger, open, next string, which was 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, then 3. Okay, so that's the notes of the scale. Okay, now you can practice this with tapping your foot. You might find that a little bit difficult to start with because concentrating picking the right strings, getting the right notes with this hand. So you might want to use a metronome. The metronome's the clock thing that will keep you in time. It used to be you have to buy really expensive ones, click clock. They could be really expensive for a good one. Now you can get them everywhere. You can find them on YouTube. You can get free apps for your phone. So I've got a metronome here. I'm going to put it on really slow. I'm going to put it on 60 BPM. BPM is just beats per minute. So I'll put it on 60 and you'll hear it super, super slow. Okay, so you hear that. Feeling adventurous, you can try and tap your foot along with it. Okay, and then aim would be 60 BPM is just playing one note per click. Then back down, remember back down, you're probably more likely to make a mistake, so don't worry if you do. So that'd be 1, open, 2, open, 3, 2, open, 3. Okay, so that's your metronome. So like I said, go into YouTube, type in metronome, there's channel after channel. You can download them to your phone for free. You could even go out and buy one if you wanted. If you've got trouble playing along with the metronome, then I suggest that you stop the metronome and just go back and just play through it at your own speed till you get really comfortable. Take your time, get nice clear notes. If you rush it and you're making mistakes, you're just really costing yourself more time in the long run. Okay. Okay, so that was a C major scale, so you practice that along with your metronome and just get your fingers used to that. Remember, stay in position, so first finger, first fret, second finger, second fret, third finger, third fret. So the C major scale, you have it in a PDF just for reference. Obviously you can look back at the video at any time and follow this, but if you want you can print off the PDF. So if we look at the screen, this is what it looks like with the tab. Okay, so you can see we're starting the string 5 there, third fret, third finger, open 2, 3 on the next string up. You'll notice it's all the same line. Then we have 2 notes here, open 2, then open 1. And then I've just written it in reverse. 1, open 2, open 3, 2, open 3. The note values, these are called quarter notes or crotchets. Quarter notes is the kind of American term. I think quarter notes, because we're talking in fours, kind of makes more sense. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where you would tap your foot. Okay. Right, we're going to look at a couple more chords, then I'm going to give you a strumming pattern, which you can actually apply to all the chords, just to make it slightly more interesting. So we'll give you 2 more chords, 2 minor chords. The first one will be A minor. Okay, so actually the easiest way to play A minor, if we go back and remember what C was, so we put our first finger on the second string, okay, first fret, and then we put our second finger on the 4th string, the second fret, and then we put a third finger there on string 5. Right, that's the C chord. Now to make the A minor chord, what you do is take your third finger and we're going to put it directly underneath the second finger. Okay. And that'll give us the A minor. Okay, so there's a C, and we move our third finger right underneath. Now that doesn't work for everybody, so I'll build the chord from nothing. Okay, so we take our first finger and put it in the second string at the first fret. Then we take our second finger and put it in the 4th string at the second fret. And then we put a third finger right underneath there. Okay, so it should all be contained in the 1st and 2nd frets there. And we strum it from string 5, the A string. It's an A chord, so we strum it from string 5. Yeah, hopefully you can hear how that's different from A major. Happy, sad. Okay, so that's our A minor. Then we're going to move up to D minor, our next chord. So with the D minor, probably the easiest way, if you think of your fingers as being all glued together and this shape doesn't move at all, and lift all them 1 towards the 4. Okay, and we move up like that. And then what you want to do is move your third finger out, okay, and that will give you D minor. Okay, so just once more, there's A minor. And move each finger up 1 string, move your third finger out, D minor. Okay, so now we have A minor, D minor, and with the exercise we have E minor. Okay, so now we'll go into a bit of strumming practice. with this, and we're going to be strumming up and down with our foot. So if you grab the A minor, so first finger, second string, second finger on the fourth string, second fret, and third finger right underneath on the third string, second fret. Okay, and just follow me. So if we go down, down, let's try that. Ready? Down, down. Okay, now we add in one more strum. We're going to strum up the way, so I want you to strum down, down, up. Try that. Ready? Down, down, up. Here comes the tricky bit. Okay, we're going to do another upstroke. Okay, which will actually create a gap in the rhythm. Let me demonstrate. Down, down, up, up. So this is what catches everybody out. So what you need to do, the bit that catches people out is the fact you need to let your hand fall back through. What you'll probably feel is you'll want to stick your hand will stick up there. Down, down, up, and then you'll kind of rush it like that. That's very common. Basically what your hand's doing is going down, up, down, up, down. That's all your hand's ever doing. And it should be tied in with your foot. Down, up, tap, up, down, up. Okay, so I'll do that again. Down, down, up, up. Okay, don't worry if that takes a bit. It's a coordination thing, kind of patting your head, rubbing your stomach. Down, down, up, up. And then we're going to add another downstroke. So follow me. So ready, and down, down, up, down. Okay, it also helps saying it along, and or even just saying it in your head. Okay, and then we're going to add a final upstroke to that. So it goes down, down, up, down, up. And even just saying that, down, down, up, down, up. You try and clap your hands even. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Okay, this is invaluable. It fits over so many songs. If we just take G, D, and C at random now. It just works in so many songs, like I said. So you can do that with any chords. Just take one chord to practice it. You can stick 2 chords, you can stick 3 chords, any of the chords we've done. The exercise I've written is over those chords: A minor, D minor, and E minor. So we'll do it with the A minor, and we'll just do it a chord at a time, then we'll try and stick them together. So we'll start with the A minor. Okay, so fingers on, first finger, second string, first fret. Second finger, fourth string, second fret, third finger right underneath. Okay, try and tap your foot. Don't worry if you can't tap your foot, but if you can, it's even better. 1, 2, 3, go. So it's down, down, up, down, up. Okay, try again. 2, 3, go. Down, down, up, down, up. Okay, move up to the next chord, D minor. So we move our fingers up one string, push the third finger out. Okay, give you a second to get that. First finger, second finger, third finger. That'll give you the D minor. So let's try and strum it. 2, 3, go. Down, down, up, down, up. Okay, now the trick is trying to change between the chords and not let the strumming stop. So let me demonstrate that first of all. So it goes down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. So this is where the practicing, like I was saying before, strumming each chord once comes into play. Now, if you can't change in time yet, which is probably really likely because I've just shown you the chord and it'll take some time for your fingers to get used to it, then the trick is this: your right hand will be the one that forces this hand to speed up. Okay, so even if you've not got your fingers totally on the chord, try and keep strumming. Your brain will be saying stop, 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 stop if you haven't got the chord, but try and keep strumming along, okay? And it'll force. If you always stop, you'll always have the gap between the chords, okay? So down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Again, it doesn't matter what speed you're doing that. You can do it very, very slowly as long as you try and get rid of that gap and have that moving consistently. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. Then we'll just add in the third chord, E minor. So try and practice going between these. Before you play the exercise, you might want to just recap the chords. Do that for a minute or so. Then we add in the strumming pattern. 2, 3, go. Down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up. That's quite a lot, so if you manage to master that, you're well on your way to playing your first song and playing millions of other songs. So what you need to practice for next time is A minor, D minor, E minor, and we've added the C chord in as well, okay? So all together as E minor, we've got D, A, G, and then you've got A minor and D minor, and you'll have a list of this to go through so you can go back, make sure you don't miss chords. Try and commit these to memory, and like I said, just practice them and get the changes down. Then add in the strumming. Also, if you go back and you've got the C major scale, so go through that. Just get your fingers used to it. Doesn't matter what speed you do it at. Try and aim for 60 BPM in the metronome and 1 note for every click of the metronome. And also, if you go and listen to Love Me Do, and we'll look through the chord pattern for that for next time.